Arsenal booked their place in the last 8 of the Europa League after 2 goals from Danny Welbeck either side of Granit Xhaka's strike gave the Gunners a 3-1 win against AC Milan at the Emirates. Arsene Wenger's men had a 2-0 aggregate lead from last week's clash at the San Siro but lacked purpose in the opening stages and survived an early scare when Andre Silva pulled his strike wide after just 45 seconds. Milan took the lead after 35 minutes when Håkan Calhanoglu struck from 25 yards out, but David Ospina, stepping in for Petr Cech, will feel his positioning should have been better on reflection. The tie swung back in Arsenal's favour 2 minutes later when referee Jonas Eriksson took advice from the assistant referee behind the goal who felt Welbeck was brought down by Ricardo Rodriguez though replays showed minimal contact. Gennaro Gattuso's side came close to regaining the lead after the interval but Gianluigi Donnarumma's mistake gifted Xhaka a goal before Welbeck added his second of the night late on. Milan's mini revival in the run-up to the first leg proved to be overblown when Arsenal cut through Gattuso's side almost at will in northern Italy last Thursday. The Serie A Giants have kept 8 clean sheets in their last 9 games, but even this Arsenal side was able to carve them open and they continued to do so at the Emirates. It did, in fairness, take a while. Milan were the better side for the majority of the first half and capitalized on the passive atmosphere at the Emirates. Arsenal's 2-0 lead from the first leg meant they didn't know whether to stick or twist and Calhanoglu deservedly put his side ahead. The Turkey international was picking up spaces between Arsenal's midfield and their defence and he unleashed a decent strike from 25 yards out that swerved into the bottom right-hand corner. Ospina's positioning was questionable and at that stage supporters were rightly questioning the folly of dropping Cech, the undisputed number 1, for the Colombian. However, the goal actually simplified Arsenal's task. Now they knew they needed to score and supporters found their collective voice as they realized they were back in a game. The Gunners produced more intensity in the 4 minutes after Milan's opener than they did in the opening 35 minutes, but their route back into the match was aided by a controversial decision from the referee's assistant. Welbeck latched onto a ball behind Milan's defense and fell to the ground in installments after minimal contact from Swiss defender Rodriguez. Referee Eriksson didn't appear to look interested at the start but pointed to the spot on the advice of his assistant behind the goal. Milan were furious but their protests came to no avail. Welbeck had just 1 goal in his last 14 appearances before tonight but stepped forward to take the penalty and put Gianluigi Donnarumma the wrong way to restore Arsenal's 2-goal lead. 1 aggregate. Arsenal retreated back into the shell after the break and offered Milan encouragement with some nervous defending. On the hour mark Mesut Ozil got a collective groan from the home support as he failed to jump for an aerial challenge up against Fabio Brini and the ball fell kindly to Franck Kessié. He set Suso away and the winger found Patrick Cutrone unmarked on the penalty spot but the forward saw his volley go agonizingly wide. The miss should have served as a wake-up call but Arsenal were counting their blessings again shortly afterwards when Leonardo Bonucci ran practically the length of the field and put an inch-perfect cross onto Nikola Kalinic's head but the striker's effort was straight at Ospina. Milan were running out of time and Granit Xhaka put the tie to bed when he saw his strike from 25 yards out squirm under Donnarumma's palms and into the opposite corner of the net. Gattuso's side were clearly deflated and Welbeck grabbed his second of the game 5 minutes from time when he headed into an empty net to end a disappointing night for Milan. It was a cruel way for Milan to bow out after a decent performance but in truth the damage had been done in the first leg. The Serie A Giants spent more than £200 million last summer, the most in Italy, and had pinned their hopes on Europa League success to regain entry into the Champions League. Milan last competed in Europe's elite competition in 2013-14 but were knocked out in the last 16 by Atletico Madrid. Their absence has cost the club more in money than it has in prestige but they should serve as a warning to Arsenal as the Gunners bid for Europa League success. The Gunners' top 4 hopes are gone and they need to win this season's competition to salvage their season. A second season outside of the Champions League is taxing on every level of the club, not least its finances. January's recruitment of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Henrikh Mkhitaryan proved the club can attract top-class players without the lure of